I believe that the fires we're cast upon are the flames we shall become. I believe in a common calling where our temples pray as one. I believe in the word of wonder and a kingdom for the saved.
Larry Pollock, Luke Carroll here. Leo didn't make it because he's having internet issues right now. Maybe he'll jump on in a little bit, but we're going to get started now. It's been quiet in the bodybuilding world. A lot going on in the world, but not in the bodybuilding world, with no shows really coming up until the Arnold. However, there are some things we're going to go over. If any of you have been watching the news, I'm sure you've been seeing everything going on in Iran, where they're trying to overthrow the government there, which has been going on for a long time. But this time it seems like they might actually do it, now that the Venezuela thing is happening. But it was interesting that Hadi Choopan is a figurehead in that country. And from my understanding, he's the most popular athlete in the whole country. But his fans, who are normally diehard, Hadi Choopan, go to war for him, are a little bit upset with him right now and been posting some nasty stuff, basically saying he doesn't represent them because he posted a picture of himself with, I guess it's the Ayatollah of Iran, basically in support of the country. So, and since a lot of the Iranian people there are basically on civil war with the country right now, trying to overthrow the regime, some people there are viewing him as not being on the side of the people. Now, I understand that Hadi came out and made a statement saying that he's not bought and paid for by anybody, and he's not taking any money from anybody, and he's on the side of the people, and so forth after all this happened. One thing that occurred to me, though, that country, from my understanding, it's having a lot of problems, like with basically their currency. They're politically, they don't have, in general, they don't have water, enough water to do their prayer schedule. The people are just really poor, and the regime is spending all the money on war. And Hadi, being a professional bodybuilder, Olympia competitor, in order to be a bodybuilder in general, it costs money. And of course, he makes money from, Evogen and all that. Oh, Leo's on. We add him too. You there?
Leo, made it.
Yeah, I use my phone now.
Right on.
Did you hear anything I just talked about?
No, I don't think he's been on.
No.
Okay, so we're just talking about Hadi basically getting some pushback from his fans, basically because he posted a picture of himself with the Ayatollah, and now that there's basically a sort of a civil war going on there, a lot of fans were upset with him being in support of that regime.
Yeah.
But I was saying that, him being a bodybuilder in general is expensive. I mean, just the amount of food that we have to eat, training facilities, PEDs, everything, it just all costs money. And he has money, I'm sure, from his Evogen contracts and his winnings and so forth. However, living in a country like that with a regime that it's what is the word for it? Dictatorship. I'm sure he's in a tough spot where he has to basically, in order to do what he wants to do, I'm sure he has to sort of go along with what they're saying, because they run everything over there. I mean, they built two different statues in two cities of him. And I'm sure if the regime was not, behind him, he wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, but don't you think someone in his position could have fled
fled
Escaped
the country?
Yeah.
Possibly, yes.
He was so many times in the U.S. He could have just stayed here and said, like, applied for being a refugee, and they would have easily taken him.
Mm-hmm.
He could have, but I don't.
But you know why he didn't do it? Because he's lazy. Because at home he doesn't have to do shit for his money. Because Ayatollah gives him money.
But now I guess he's supporting the other guy. Is that what you're saying, Larry?
Basically, he is standing with the Ayatollah because they basically, he's a hero over there, and they give him what he wants. So he's living like a millionaire over there. I mean he probably gets whatever he wants from them. He's got it made.
Yeah, it sounds fine. I mean, that'd be living the dream. If somebody was paying me,
right?
Yeah, so but you would support the dictator over all of your people just because you're benefiting from it?
Well, that's what the fans are complaining about. And now he's kind of backpedaling, saying he's never supported them. You know, he's his own guy. He's not taking money from them and what not. But, you know, for him to do what he does over there, to live like he lives, he has to play the game and go along with them. Yeah. Because everybody else there is in poverty. I mean, basically the way it is, from my understanding, is you have two classes. You have the ruling class that lives wealthy, and whoever's with them is living high on the hog. And then everybody else is, you know, starving and can't get money for anything.
He must like it there to some degree because, like you said, he's got a decent amount of money. He's a former Mr. Olympia. He's won massive shows. He's got sponsorships. So if he wanted to live in a different country, there's places that would take him, even if he couldn't stay in the United States. I mean, I'm sure he could stay in the UAE or, you know, some other country. He's not
Bro, he goes to Germany, they take everyone.
Yeah. So he
goes to the UK, they take everyone. They're like us before Trump. They take everyone.
I mean, he must be, you know, I mean, it might be hard to, I don't know if he's got family there and whatever, so it might be hard for him to leave his home. But, you know, if it was a bad enough situation, then I have to imagine that, you know, that he would go. So it must not be too bad of a situation for not for him at least.
No, I'm
okay. There's one scenario, I don't know, that could happen. That he just got like blackmailed. You know, that could be. Then I take everything back from before. Well, let's say like
his family.
If you got out of the country, we kill your whole family.
Yeah. Or maybe he's just not that said, or just it's just implied, or maybe, you know, he's like, maybe he's worried about that. So maybe there is some reason for him to keep going home and keep his citizenship in Iran. But
well, he does have a wife and kids over there.
Well, aside from that, because we would just be speculating, how does this affect his Arnold Classic?
That's what I was going to get to next. How does this affect his prep now that the tables are turned and
I don't think it affects his prep at all. I think he has prepped under extreme not knowing over and over again if he's going to get his access to the United States and doing stuff. So I think he's on a professional level. I don't think it affects him at all. I think he does whatever he has to do because he's, you know, that number one guy, one of the number one guys in the world. But it might affect his ability to get back into the United States if there's a rift in his country, more so than there was 4 months ago at the Olympia.
No.
Well, he's also got millions of fans that were all on his side. Now, a lot of them turning against him. So I'm sure that.
I mean, social media fans they're so fair weather. I mean, if you,
right,
you know, they don't mean anything. They get outraged because you did a curl the wrong way or something, and then they hate you, and then they love you because you did a curl the right way. You know, they're such fickle fickle people on the internet.
Yeah, some
It's,
people.
it's also that it's also that you have to realize that the people, like, how many comments are that actually? Because the people that are enraged, they all comment and they cry the loudest. The people that are neutral about it, or they don't care or whatever, they're probably like so many more, but they don't comment.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't see like, oh, there's 300 negative comments, so everyone hates him now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think that everyone who hates him comments.
probably. Yeah, because they're like the most outraged about it, but the people that
Mhm.
support him are just like, yeah. And then also, a lot of people don't even read the comments, and maybe don't
Yeah.
even go on social media. Like, I don't even know if he posts his own stuff because it doesn't really.
He does.
I mean,
He
I
has
guess he does because he writes like a lot of like, stuff about like he writes kind of line comments. So I don't know if he like goes back and rereads the stuff that's getting posted.
Well, regardless of all that, as someone mentioned that if he's part of the regime, even though not militarily, but just like been, kind of on their side, and there's a regime change, which they're talking about, like Ayatollah leaving and going to Russia, and the government getting completely overthrown. That
I have to imagine that probably wouldn't affect him as much as you might think, just because he's kind of like a national hero, national icon, and if it changes to a different thing, they still want him to be like the representation of their country. So I don't think that even the new people would be like, I think he would just kind of like transfer into like, okay, it's like I didn't really support Joe Biden, and then I was like part of the United States, and then like somebody came in that I did like, and I'm like, okay, now I support that person, but it didn't change like my standing within the United States. I mean, maybe people that are upset about that stuff.
Yeah, but this is the United States. Over there, it's like, pick a side.
Yeah, I doubt anything's gonna change. He's a national hero. Like they're not gonna lynch him because he liked the Ayatollah. Like I just don't see that happening.
No, I didn't say lynch him, but it could make it more difficult for him. That's
Yeah. He's not too involved, but I could see that too. Like even in everyday life, on the street,
possibly.
like let's say that they all get overthrown, and the opposition really wins, and I think because he sees that it's going to look like that, he's also like trying to say, I was not really on the side or whatever, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that he basically made a statement to that effect, saying, I've always been on the people's side, and I'm not on their side, but this is now that this is happening.
Yeah. So, but I mean, will this affect him getting in the United States for the Arnold? Maybe. I mean, if they're
I don't think his fans will affect him, but the whole thing going on over there might affect.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might affect him for his visa. His visa might get affected by it more so than it has in the past. But I think that probably not affect his visa because he's gotten into the United States since 2019. He's gotten in every year. I mean, Hani, probably has a letter or has somebody up high up writing letters, and he's got a job with Eva Jen, and he checks all the boxes. So I don't think this will affect him getting into the Arnold Classic.
Well, right now, I mean, the way it is over there, like literally they're at war, like between the government and the people, like literally killing each other in the streets. So it's got to be pretty chaotic living in that, let alone trying to train through it and do all that. I
mean, you could say that about the United States right now. There's literally government killing people and the people fighting. Yeah, but this is it doesn't affect us at all. It doesn't affect any of us on a different level. Way. I mean, like maybe in some neighborhood in the country is like really going to war, but like where he lives, probably not. He probably lives in a nice neighborhood.
Well, this is the major cities. They're like overtaking the major cities.
Yeah, I mean,
the people are overtaking major cities. Like it's literally been happening in the last 2 days.
Uh-huh.
This all just started in the last 2 days.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look at all the riots and craziness was happening in Los Angeles, and we live 60 minutes, and we didn't hear a single thing about it right after the election. We didn't hear. Nobody was rioting in our city. Like literally, people were like burning police cars, and we had zero idea about it. Like I didn't hear a siren even. So just to say that they're like doing this or that, like maybe some neighborhood is fucking up, but like it's probably not affecting him. I mean, maybe, but I just don't necessarily see it as like he probably isn't putting himself in a position, as I wouldn't, to go into that area. I wouldn't go into a spot where they're like rioting, going against the government. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym on the other side of town.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see if it does affect him at all, and if he's able to get the visa.
Yeah. I mean, we can keep monitoring the situation, but I mean, just see how it unfolds.
Yeah, it's definitely going to affect him that he's going to have a little anxiety, right? Because nothing is sure.
If there's riots nearby, I would be affected. But
no, just overall, like just having the anxiety about like, am I able to compete? Like,
I feel like that's normal for him at this point. I mean, every year we're having the same conversation about him getting into the United States.
Yeah. No, I don't think last year it was really. Was it?
Yeah, he was stuck in UAE till like 2 weeks out.
But that doesn't make it go away just because you go through it more often.
I think to some degree it does. I think
maybe a little bit, but it's not.
The second time it's probably like, I'll probably make it. But I think he prepped even when he didn't make it. So I think that he just is going to go through his stuff anyways. I think he's a professional, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make it easy. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's easy, but I think that the familiarity will make it less.
Yeah, that's true.
Less difficult.
So what's your excuse?
Excuse for what?
I'm kidding.
Larry,
because if Hadi can do it, you can do it. That's what I'm saying.
True.
I still think if he makes it to the show, he's the front runner to go at the Arnold.
He's definitely,
who knows how good Andrew will be in shape, you know.
Yeah, I think Andrew will win this Arnold, personally.
Well, there's a lot going on that can change things.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could do good or bad. I mean,
even if Hadi makes it and he comes in, it still can affect his look. Having to deal with all this.
Yeah, it very much could. I mean, I don't mean to make light of the situation. I just think that I just think he's a professional, and he kind of like maybe blocks it out to some degree, or just has a way to deal with the stress of. He's not asking what ifs. He's just kind of like going in the gym and just smashing heavy weights and getting it done.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some of this peptide stuff, and Retatutide has become pretty popular, and I know that it is now being banned from being sold on peptide sites.
Is it?
That doesn't mean
it's not really. Yeah, wait. It's not. I mean, indirectly, it might be banned, but they kind of are a gray zone, anyways. I think they just pull it by themselves because they know if they keep it, then the FDA is really gonna go after them.
Well, they said January 1st, 2026, the FDA said that it's basically illegal to sell.
Well, I mean,
was it before legal?
On my peptide, it's
no, it wasn't. But
you can buy as much as you want right now. I just checked.
I've seen some different sites pulling it up and down, and I
haven't seen anybody pull it off yet. I mean, I know there was all that like talk about it, but I haven't even. Is there like an actual law now?
What happened was it went through clinical trials, and what is it? What is the company that makes it?
Pfizer or Eli Lilly?
Pfizer, I think. They have the patent on it, and they don't want anybody else selling it because it's their product.
Good luck.
And they don't. I know there's that, but they're going to try their best to stop people from selling it, which means, if people are putting it on peptide sites, they're going to try to shut them down because they want that money.
I do not think it will affect the availability at all. I think that if peptide sites can't sell it, I think that people will just move to black market chat pages and forums and stuff. And still,
100%, it's not going to affect people in the bodybuilding community from getting it, because we can get anything. If we can get Trembolone, we can get that. But it will affect regular normal people.
Regular people getting it.
They don't know how to source stuff through
through channels.
They don't, regular people that normally go to their doctor and are paying $1,000 a month for this shit, they're not going to know where to get it.
I don't know if any compounding pharmacies are compounding it for legal prescription yet, because I think that would really be like against the law. Like all the stuff that is right now available has just been research websites selling it for gray market or just for research. You're supposed to use it on your lab rat to do research studies and stuff.
Right, but they're gonna crack down on that just because Pfizer wants that money.
I mean, we saw that happen 8 months ago when Amino Asylum went out of business for a minute, and then they rebranded as Sobachem, and I think there was like at least 3 or 4 big peptide places that did it, and then I didn't see any of them actually shut down for good though. So maybe it was like a false alarm, or maybe they figured out some sort of different loophole to
No, they had to shut down. They just made it new.
They just made a new one.
He just made a new one, and he still had all the emails and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was and this it's pretty gangster because it's the same guy, right?
Yeah, they're just like, fuck it, we don't care.
I mean,
so
it's probably on paper not the same guy, but his grandma in whatever Oklahoma.
It's still going to be available through black market sources. It's just not going to be available online like so easily now.
Yeah.
And all these little clinics that I don't know if you know about all these little clinics that have popped up.
I think all the little clinics are selling the GLP-2. They're selling the
Tirzepatide?
Tirzepatide. Yeah, because that's what I hear. Everyone that's getting it like the legit way, prescribed, is only using Tirzepatide.
I think we lost Leo just now. He'll probably come.
Yeah, he's thinking. His internet's not doing good. But so I don't think anybody is actually getting Retatutide through prescription. I mean, I think there's a lot of
I know
protocols.
I actually know a few people that were getting it through prescription, paid for by their insurance. And it was super, not the Retatutide, but the other one.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I was saying, I don't think Retatutide is available.
No, it hasn't been to market yet.
Yeah. So everyone that's tried it yet, which is an extremely high amount of people, has gotten it through research sites, we'll call it the black market, through the black market.
Right. So I think it'll still be available. Now, an interesting question came up. There was that guy, he's kind of like a wacky, claims he's a doctor with a beard. You know what I'm talking about? He screams and yells a lot.
The chiropractor?
He goes on. I don't know if he says he's some kind of a doctor. He goes on about.
You're talking about Todd Lee?
Not Todd Lee. There's
the other one?
A new guy. He's making all these YouTube videos talking about the proper way to use peptides.
Yeah. I think, what's his name? It's shit, I can't remember.
He's kind of like a little bit nutty.
Yeah,
he yells a lot.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I can't think of the name on top of my head.
He says, put this here and I'll send you the information.
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah.
So
he came out with a thing just the other day saying that, this microdosing thing with the Retatutide is not a good way to do it, that it's going to be ineffective. Because it was meant to be taken a certain way, like in a larger dose, like a couple times a week, or however they're clinically doing it.
I think they're saying doing a bolus dose every 5th or 6th day that's what he's claiming is, and I guess that's what they're doing in the literature. But he's claiming it, I don't know, it kind of doesn't work, or it doesn't work the correct way through microdosing. But pretty much all the coaches and clients and stuff that I've talked to, I've kind of ran it both ways with some of my clients, and there seems to be less side effects if you do it microdosed, like every day or every other day. Whether if you do it at the actually, Hella said it last week. She said she tried it and she was get like 0 appetite on day like 1, 2, and 3, and then her appetite would come back for like 2 days, and then she would do it again, and then she has 0 appetite. So the bolus dose seems to have a more side effects for that, and it might make sense, like if people are getting better results on the bolus dose because they eat no food for those like couple days, and then they kind of backload their food a little bit instead of eating like a slightly smaller amount throughout the week. So maybe that's why they're seeing more fat loss with the bolus dose. But I know just people are preferring it. A lot of coaches are preferring it with their clients to do microdose.
Well, my client who's I'm prepping for the USA's, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Big arm.
Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started it before last in prep, like 3 weeks out, and just doing that 2 times a week at like 2 milligrams.
Yep.
And it worked.
I would consider that a microdose as well. I would consider multiple times a week the microdose, and then a single time a week the bolus dose.
Well, we were doing 2 times a week at 2 milligrams, but then recently he tried the microdose at 0.5 per day.
Yeah.
And what he said was he was getting nauseated when he do it, and he was having problems going to the bathroom. It was killing his appetite, but he said he was going to the restroom like multiple times a day and only being able to get a little bit out. So he basically constipated him. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the side effects of the GLP-1 is constipation.
Right. Well, but when he did it the other way twice a week, he wasn't having that issue.
Okay. I mean, just like with most things, maybe there's some people that get a better
individual variability. Yeah. But what I do think, though, is anybody who's claiming right now that they really know what's the best way, I think they're just full of it, because we haven't really had this stuff long enough.
Yeah. I think that we're doing research as Pfizer is doing research. I think that coaches are kind of doing it. And I tend to agree with you. I like to have my clients do every other day or twice a week. I don't really have anybody do every day. But that's just I just haven't even really had anyone do it every day. I just feel like it's not.
We just tried recently the every day at 0.5 per day, and he didn't like it because he said he was getting nauseated every time he did it.
But he didn't get nauseated when he did a larger dose?
Nope.
Interesting.
He didn't get nauseated, and also he just was having problems going to the restroom. He would have a normal bowel movement doing the larger dose, just like once a day or whatever. But now he was going like all day long to the toilet, just a little bit at a time. Yeah. I mean, there could be other factors, but yeah, it could definitely be causing that for sure. So I think it's bottom line is it's still a work in progress, and we're just experimenting with this right now. And the thing that I wanted to mention is what just happened.
I didn't see nothing.
You can't see me, huh?
I can see you. Oh, you're frozen.
I'm frozen? Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. There's like a surge or something. Oh, now it's just me.
Now I just see myself as black.
Yeah, you're just black now. But keep going. People can listen. If it comes back, it comes back.
That's weird.
Did you turn off your camera? You didn't do anything.
I didn't touch the computer.
All right. Anyway, what was the point you were making?
Shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Shoot, what was I talking about just now?
You were talking about something about Retatutide. We just finished talking about your client doing it daily and getting the constipation, and then you were kind of moving to a different topic, but I'm not sure where you were going with your
I was just saying that, like, we're all just experimenting with this stuff right now.
I agree.
And I know what I was going to say. When you get studies that come out of like medical literature as compared to what bodybuilders do, I mean, you got to keep in mind that they're looking at different factors than we are.
Yeah.
We're just looking for optimal results. They're also looking for something called compliance, which in other words is, they're not dealing with, bodybuilders that take shit every day and stay on strict diets and go to the gym and do all this. They're dealing with
they're designing specifically Retatutide for like diabetic fat loss, I believe. So we don't really fit into that category at all. Oh, Larry's trying to reload again. Are you back?
I'm just trying to, I don't know why you can't see me.
Yeah, I would just leave it. I wouldn't fuck with it. It's kind of distracting. But yeah, I would say that with bodybuilding, we are like the pinnacle of biohacking. We're trying to just add more muscle, get leaner, perform better, do all these things. So we actually kind of guide, I think, the science, or maybe not guide it, but we're like way ahead of the science on a lot of dosing programs. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We're like ahead of the science a lot of times on dosing programs and on, ways to use stuff and different, different dosages, different frequencies, stuff like that. So I think that the studies may be written to take it the way that, is best for people to get off, to reduce diabetes, to reduce obesity. So, and I think the science kind of like, you get those statistics of people that use it at some point, and it may change from what the original study was, like look at steroids from the 80s and 90s, like your dosing and your frequency was way different. I mean, they were dosing Sustanon once every 3 weeks. And we know that that'd be like 0 in your system after 3 weeks,
Right.
Even though it has a long half-life, like your body still metabolizes it pretty quickly. So I think that there'll be like you just said, there'll be a huge amount of research that continues to come out even after Pfizer drops it and the dosing protocol that they drop it for.
Well, again, they're looking at compliance, and they're looking at sedentary people that don't work out and everything. And if they tell people to take something every single day, they may not do it. Whereas if they take it once a week, more people are probably likely to do that, especially in an injection.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I got some people that don't mind doing stuff every day, myself included. I like doing stuff every day so I don't forget. And then I got people that are like, I got to do this injection. How often? And I'm like, once, twice a week. And they're like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm like, all right.
Well, I can tell you, like myself, I just don't like injecting myself because after so many years of poking myself with needles, I just don't like doing it.
I mean, I don't love doing it, but I like the results that come from doing it.
I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm just saying I don't like it. I
don't think anybody likes.
I don't like taking shots anymore.
I don't think anybody likes doing a shot.
I'm saying when I was young, I didn't mind, but now it's like, it's just something, I do because to get results or whatever, but I prefer not to do it any more often than I need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about we could talk about, I don't think we've ever really talked about that, about frequency, talking about injections frequency. I am in the camp that I like to do it daily, because when I'm on like a heavy push, I might be doing, 10, 12 cc's a week. And if I just broke that into 2 injections, that might be a 5 cc or a 6 cc or a 7 cc injection twice a week, which, I don't really like doing them that big of injections, because I feel like I get way more muscular damage, and I get more post-injection pain when I do a big bolus shot. So I like to divide that by 7, whether it's 10 cc's or 12 cc's, and then just do like 1.5, 1.4 milliliters every day to kind of like reduce the injection size. That's probably the reason I like to do it the most. And then a byproduct of that is you just get ultra stable. Your hormones just stay ultra stable. You don't have this like peak and valley where you get more side effects from the low frequency.
I just do it, honestly. I do it pre-workout 4 times a week. It's just the easiest time for me to do it.
Yeah. No, 4 times a week would be pretty good. But you take a pretty low dose. I mean, I think you take like what, 200 to 300 milligrams of test and 100 milligrams of like NPP or something like that.
I've taken 30 milligrams NPP 4 times a week, so that's 120.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically 50 tests
every day.
No.
I mean, 4 times a week, so that's 200.
200.
Yeah, so that's what test are you using? Cypionate or
Enanthate?
Enanthate. Okay, so that's 250. So you're really only doing, like a cc. What, 50 times 4 is 200. So that's not even a cc of test. And what'd you say you're doing? Like 0.3. So that's 1.4 cc's of NPP. So you're only doing like 2.5 cc's, maybe not even that much per week. So break it down into 4 shots.
Someone said pre-workout is horrible. I use an insulin syringe.
Yeah.
That has, Leo's back. So Leo's on the stage, just not me. I don't know why.
Okay. Anyway.
So I just use a 1 cc insulin syringe with a 1/2 inch tip.
Mm-hmm.
And I just rotate between either rear delts, triceps, and like my upper outer quad. That's and I never more than 1 cc. It's always like 1 cc.
Yeah.
Total.
We're talking about injection frequency, just kind of what we prefer. I said I prefer daily. Larry prefers pre-workout 4 days a week.
Oh, interesting. So it's because of this guy with the Retatutide who said once a week is fine, or
the guy?
No, we were talking about this. We kind of got off the Retatutide topic. We're just talking about injection frequency of anabolic compounds like steroid oils. Just talking about that. But yeah, we started out talking about what is that guy's name? The chiropractor guy. He's like Tyler or something like that. Dr. Tyler.
Trevor Kuritzin?
Trevor, that's the guy's name. Yeah, we were talking about, he was talking about you're only supposed to do it 1 injection a week because the science says, and you're getting 0 results if you microdose and some shit like that.
Yeah, it's obviously total bogus, because this guy said then in the same video, if you watched it, when you inject it just once, you get a spike.
Mm-hmm.
So first he says it doesn't spike, it's totally even, and that's why you do it once a week. And then he says, yeah, it spikes, and then it goes down. So what is it? If it spikes and then it goes down, you obviously can't do it every day. So it made no sense, and it makes no sense. And everyone who does it every other day or like every day, the Retatutide, or every 3 days, they all have perfectly fine results. He makes no sense.
I tend to like using with my clients 2 to 3 times per week, either every other day or twice a week. Larry was saying he just had a guy try it daily, I think doing a half a daily, and he didn't have very good results. He was getting a lot of nausea, and then he started getting like his bowel movements were just like really frequent, but he couldn't like get any out. He was kind of getting constipation. So, that might be something that kind of comes out as the science progresses, or as our understanding of it progresses. It's just like maybe too frequent is a bad thing, and then too low frequency is also a bad thing.
No, but see, if it's gonna be so that also makes no sense, because if you say that that every day would be an issue because of nausea, if you inject once a lot, you'll get way more nausea. You get a way bigger
I
spike.
asked Larry the same thing, and he said,
Yeah, but my client
didn't report that.
When he does that, he doesn't get the nausea, but from doing it every day, he does.
So
I would.
Anyway, we kind of like beat that one to death. But do you want to talk about your view on injection frequency of androgens? Do you do
my own?
Yeah, your own, just or whatever you prefer, like whatever you like the best.
Yeah, I would say the most what I like. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the most frequent is better, but I would like to not have to do it.
Not be a
so I actually so I found so this lab rat found a test in decanate. So if I would just be doing TRT and that would be available, the funny thing is I just got my testosterone script here, and because my doctor's in LA, I can only get it from LA. So I have to be in LA every 9 weeks, otherwise I can't get it. But whatever.
Can I go pick it up for you and then I'll mail it to you?
Maybe I can have someone pick it up. So the thing is, I get paid through Gusto from one source. I get paid from one income source. So I have multiple income sources, right? And Gusto has this Glick RX thing, and there you can look for medications and get this card from them, a discount card, and you can see at which pharmacy is the cheapest. And my testosterone is the cheapest at so at a Walgreens in it's actually, I know this actual Walgreens, I know
There's like a specific one that you have.
It's right across the street from the Costco in I think it's still Venice, and there's like 70% off, and I can get it for $37 a 10 ml vial.
Damn.
When in other places it's like I can show it to you, actually. It's kind of interesting. Look, I showed where can I switch the camera back and forth? I can turn it on. So can you see this here? This map?
Yeah, kind of.
So here it's $119. Here it's $200. Here it's $44. And then I zoomed in and I saw under the $200 right across the street at another one. You see? And
shit.
There's a pharmacy, $200.
Is one like CVS and the other a Walgreens?
This I don't see. This is Costco.
Oh, okay.
In the Costco one, it's
come on, Costco.
It's super expensive, and here at the Walgreens, I can get this discount through Glick RX, which I found through, and they have actually. I'm gonna get on insurance probably from them too. They not from Glick RX, but through Gusto. They also have a really good insurance finder.
Oh shit!
So where you can see your deductibles, or if you want dental and whatever you want. So dental I don't need because I have my dentist with my fake teeth. So if anything's going on, that's his thing, right?
Yeah.
So and then
you have veneers? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
On the top and bottom?
Everything. And then I have vision. I probably also don't need. Everyone sees great in my family. I always ace every test. It's always good. I take so much choline and I eat so many eggs.
It drops off.
But if you eat a bunch of eggs, like all the choline and such, it can help a lot. So your lifestyle is important. But I mean, but yeah, so it's kind of interesting, like how if you find out about the system, you can get
I'll have
stuff
to get those.
cheaper.
I'll have to get those sites from you later because I don't even have a prescription for test. I just buy it black market.
Yeah, but you, I mean, you can really only get it if you have a low. So my doctor
Oh, I
prescribed it
can
to
make
me
sure I have a
when
low
I had
T.
a when
Stop
I
doing my.
had very low testosterone. Yeah, but if you get off, if you're off, which you are like a bunch of times, right?
Yeah,
You told me that that's kind of your thing. You get off
yeah,
completely,
yeah.
then you go to the doctor and
I've just been taking test propionate, so literally I could be at like a low by the end of the week if I if I wanted to.
yeah, maybe be safe and do like 8 days later or something. But yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely
could. Here's
then
what
you'd
I
be
could do.
really low.
I could do like go off for a couple days and then send in my Rhythm Health, and then gets the results. And if it's like
Yeah,
see what it is, and then like go get my one for the doctor like right after that.
exactly.
Anyway, let's,
I've been having a little issues. Some people have been using the Leo 25 thing, and it still worked,
it
and it
didn't work.
wasn't tracked. It wasn't tracked.
Oh
I
shit!
realized because a friend of mine was like showing me on January 6th, I ordered, and I'm like, I didn't see anything here.
Yeah,
I'm like, and what the code did you use?
dude, I've had like four
Oh,
people use your code. I used it. Larry used it. My friend Dustin, my other friend Kevin. Like I've had like a bunch of people use your code.
thank you. But I think that was still before December, right? So they
Yeah, that was
should have
before.
been tracked. They should have
Yeah.
been tracked. Yeah, but yeah, interesting.
Let's talk
Well,
about
yeah.
Tesamorelin, Larry.
Yeah. So
Oh, he's still there. She's black.
Yeah,
I just
she's
see
still there.
black.
yeah,
His timer went out for
I don't
some
know
reason.
what's with my camera, and I all of a sudden it
He
turned
keeps
black,
trying to
and I can't
reset
see
it, but
myself.
it's not doing anything. So I just told him, let's just carry on.
No, I'm
Maybe just
here.
click on and off a bunch of times on the
I
bottom on
did.
this camera symbol.
Anyway, Larry, tell us about what you were saying about the Tesamorelin.
Uh-huh. No. Because there's some like sorry, 1 second. Like right next to the camera there's an arrow. Try to play around with that. Okay. Tesamorelin. Let's go, Larry.
So yeah, I don't know what.
Larry?
Yeah, I'm here, but I just don't know what my camera's doing. It's weird.
I mean, I can do it.
The
Okay.
important part is listening.
You
to
hear me, right?
Yeah.
Luke?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't hear anyone.
Oh, you
don't
can't hear me
anyone.
now? We should just fuck with Leo and just
Wait,
start like, not saying anything, just moving our
did he
mouths.
mute us?
My mouth.
No, I hear you fine.
Hello?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
here.
You got me?
Yeah, we're here.
I don't
Hello,
think you
hello?
can hear. Everyone can hear us. Hold on. Put it in the chat. Look in the chat. Look in the chat.
I think you muted me. I'm good.
No,
I'm
I
good.
didn't mute you. I did not
He
mute you.
muted me.
We
I'm
can hear
good.
you. We can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't hear you though.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so I can talk about Tesamorelin then. So Tesamorelin is one of these GHRH growth hormone releasing hormones, which is FDA approved, and that's the reason why it's also on the black market websites or gray market, whatever you want to call it. It's the most expensive, and there are some studies that you lose visceral fat on it, and such things, and it's like, well, people are just losing fat anyways, and then they're claiming that it's not an effect of the weight loss that the visceral fat goes down, but of the drug. So technically, therefore, I would need to see people that maintain or gain body weight, and they also experience a visceral fat loss on tesamorelin. And then I would be like, yeah, the tesamorelin is really doing that. Because if it could be just a side effect of losing weight, then it's like saying, yeah, with all the GLPs too. Oh, they make you lose belly fat. Yeah, no shit. Like you lost 30 pounds. Like sure, there's gonna be belly fat. So like what these claims are a little wild unless you would have people
Well,
maintain
they're losing the visceral fat.
their
Okay.
their weight, and
Hold on,
then
Larry. I
you
still
would
don't think
still
you can
see
hear
that. Then I'll be on it. But I think tesamorelin is maybe a little overrated. I think there's some things in combination that would have you have greater releasing GH releasing benefits, but they're not FDA approved, so they're not that hyped up, and people want the FDA approved stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I read on the
I still
interweb.
can't hear you. I don't know if you're on it. Can't we go in the chat and see if isn't there a chat on the side and see if
Yeah.
people
I'm trying. I
yeah,
tried
here
to.
comments.
I don't know.
Have
This is
Leo
such a
restart.
personal podcast.
You
We
just
don't have audio.
like
We don't have audio for Leo.
yeah,
We don't
maybe
have
I'll
video.
get in and out.
I'm the only one working.
Then I can hear you. Maybe people can comment if they can hear you. Let me see. Yeah, so they can hear us. I'll restart because I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, you
I think
restart.
some of you guys muted me.
Anyway, Larry, hop in here.
Yeah. So the thing is, as far as the visceral fat, it's the GH that actually gets released that burns the visceral fat.
I agree.
It's not like it's not for that specifically, although they does say that in the medical literature.
Did they? I didn't read the medical literature. I just kind of read the abstract. But did they test it against HGH and see if it got the same results as the Tesamorelin and HGH, if they both saw visceral fat loss, or were they just testing that drug alone?
No, it's the actual GH to get released from it that causes visceral fat loss.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, well, I guess, are they just claiming that as well? So why wouldn't people just take HGH then? Like, what would be the benefit?
Well, okay, so as far as like the benefits of the growth hormone for fat loss, yeah, you could just take GH, but the reason for taking Tesamorelin while you're taking GH is so you don't suppress your natural GH production.
Yeah, so I could see that being a benefit, but I also, me and Leo were talking about this on his podcast, that you kind of need some like refractory period where your body kind of like comes back down. If you're just peaking all the time, then you kind of become like desensitized to the effects of the GH, or maybe you just get like less benefit from it. So I could see it being a benefit, but like if you're trying to just stay at like max GH all the time, I think that could be actually detrimental.
Well,
I mean,
the idea was you take the GH on certain days and you take the Tesamorelin on other days. Then you're not taking the GH, so that your natural GH production doesn't become suppressed.
Okay. Yeah, I could get behind that. I actually like doing that for my guys that like plan on having children. Like when I write cycles for them, I keep in 300 units a day or 300 units every other day of HCG when they're on, just to like not let their natural production crash out, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, with the Tesamorelin, the problem could be though that I don't know how long the active life is, but if it's too long and your GH is kind of, there's a bunch of pulses and it's kind of like elevated all the time, like we see with some other, like a CJC no DAC, I think is pretty long, or this MK677. So it is way more likely to, screw up your blood sugar sensitivity. And with the GH, if you do it intramuscularly, it's just elevated for, I don't know, 4 hours, then it dies down. If you do sub-Q, I think it's up to like 16 hours or so, which I didn't know was that long. I just looked that up because I have edema, and I'm like, well, is it that, or is it maybe just mineral retention from hormone elevation, let's say? Because sometimes the hormones magically go up, right? And so maybe it's that. I'm not sure. Like I have to try to find out right now. But that's definitely the case, that the GH is way more like longer in you and acting, which, if you can manage your insulin sensitivity on that, great, then it's not an issue, but it could become an issue. So I would rather not, like, I wouldn't advise it. wouldn't advise to do it, but yeah, that's on
Well,
everyone
supposedly,
themselves.
um,
And if you're
Milos
like this skinny heart gainer, you probably like no problem.
Milos is
If you're
having his
someone who
people
just
take.
can't eat enough and put on weight, like can't, everyone can, obviously we know, but just if you're one of those guys, then that might probably even help you.
Yeah. Larry was saying something about Milos.
Milos is having his guys taking it on the days they don't take the GH, they take the
Larry?
Tesamorelin.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't think Larry can hear, or Leo can hear us again.
I can hear you.
You can't hear Larry?
You can't hear me?
I can't hear Larry.
Oh, he's talking.
Oh man, what's going on here?
Well, this podcast is wrecked.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm here. You can't hear me?
He can't hear you. He couldn't hear you. Anyway, finish what you were saying, Larry.
So Milos is having people taking the Tesamorelin on days that they don't take the GH, like they'll rotate it.
Okay. I mean,
to keep the natural production going.
It would be an interesting experiment to see if people get more benefits out of it.
Well, I do notice a difference. Like I take it 4 days a week.
You take Tesamorelin?
No, GH.
Oh, okay.
I take it 4 days a week, and I definitely notice a difference in my sleep on the days that I take it versus the days that I don't.
Yeah, I kind of have like crazier dreams, and then I fall asleep really fast and hard when I do take HGH. Leo, I looked up the half-life of Tesamorelin is 26 minutes, but the downstream effects of the IGF-1 can last up to like 24 hours.
Oh, then it's great though. Because that's the same with the GH.
Same with GH. I would expect, it's probably exactly the same. You just make some GH and then it goes, all the downstream effects are normal. But it's got a half-life.
Then we don't have it with this one, but we obviously have it with other ones that I mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. So that Tesamorelin is pretty good to go then.
They say the effective dose is 2 milligrams.
Yeah, that makes it super expensive. If you take an ipamorelin, like you can get 10 milligrams for kind of the same amount, or even no cheaper. And you like they say the effective dose is like 300 micrograms, or like kind of like one microgram per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you do 300. Then you take 400 and you're safe, But still, you get 400 micrograms. That's a fifth, and you get it for less. So you can take 5 times as much for less. So probably 6 times as cheap or something like that.
I just looked up
as effective though as
I mean, I don't know about that. Yeah, but the combination with CJC definitely is. The question
I looked at CJC's active life, and it's 6 to 8 days. Its half-life
of what?
CJC's active life is 6 to 8 days.
Yeah, that's super crazy.
With DAC, without DAC, it's like 30 minutes.
No, other way around.
CJC with DAC is 6 to 8 days. CJC without DAC, much shorter, around 30 minutes.
Oh, I thought no DAC was the one that's a long half-life. Wow.
I mean, maybe Grok is lying to me. It's wrong often, but
someone said, why not use daily HGH? Your body becomes insensitive to it when you take it daily.
Didn't Dorian use HGH like only a couple times a week? Was he like the pioneer on doing that?
Yeah.
How would you get insensitive to GH?
They did a study with the growth kids. They were giving them first.
They gave it every other day, right? Yeah.
Every other day instead of daily. And the every other day kids grew more than the daily kids. Because you just body built a tolerance to it.
Well, we all know that if you take IGF-1, you get desensitized to it really quickly. So maybe it has something to do with the IGF-1, like the frequency on the IGF-1.
Yeah. So yeah, they find it's more effective taking it not every single day.
Mm-hmm. Like maybe a higher dose, less frequently.
I definitely could notice it. I can definitely see it suppressing your natural GH production. So maybe taking the Tesamorelin on the other days would keep your natural production going. which so that when you go off of it, maybe you're not so suppressed if you go off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the idea anyways. But
Well,
I actually can get it for almost about the same price as I get for GH, which is pretty cheap.
I feel like I would just use the GH if I had a choice. I know maybe people are like leaning towards the Tesamorelin, maybe just because it's new, and then maybe because they think it's like somehow more legal or something like that. But I think that HGH is just going to be a better.
If you had to choose one or the other, but if you do the combination of both, the GH on certain days and the Tesamorelin on other days, it might have a better overall effect.
Yeah. Wasn't there somebody talking about when people come off of Retatutide use the Tesamorelin, or was it some other drug?
No, not Tesamorelin. I wouldn't know why.
I think to continue the fat loss, because they're claiming that you get a lot of fat loss from Tesamorelin. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying what I like saw somewhere. I think it was Tesamorelin. I think that people are saying like, yeah, when you come off, then go over to this other drug. I can't remember if it's Tesamorelin or if it's something else.
I would have thought maybe an appetite suppressant or so, but okay.
Maybe there was. Fuck, I can't remember what it was.
Tesofency?
Tesofansin?
That's an appetite suppressant.
Maybe that's what it was.
But the question is, who said that?
I don't know. I saw it on TikTok or some shit.
Okay. Then it can be tesofency or tesofensin or whatever you want to call it. Because if like a doctor would have probably not said that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe I just heard it wrong. Maybe it was tesofensin. I was not paying attention.
That would make more sense. Yeah. In my mind, people benefit from Retatutide because they don't want to eat anymore.
Yeah.
Not because of any glucagon effect. I mean, that's nice for a bodybuilder. And it's nice for us bodybuilders, but most of the people, they have a problem with just eating too much, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it works for both, because I think that these GLP-2s and 3s work a lot better than semaglutide or GLP-1.
Yeah.
What was the there actually is, you can use they can prescribe Tesamorelin from the FDA. It can be prescribed for, I guess, if you have like weird fat deposits because of,
they use it for AIDS patients.
if you have AIDS and you have weird fat deposits,
visceral fat. There's a certain term.
Yeah, so that's like the official use for it within the United States.
Yeah, they use it for reduce visceral fat in AIDS patients. That's the FDA-approved use of Tesamorelin. That's what they're claiming anyways. And it's interesting because they used to prescribe the regular GH for the AIDS patients, and now I guess they're going with the Tesamorelin.
Really?
Yeah, remember back when all the serum kits?
They're just trying to fuck bodybuilders that buy GH kits from the AIDS patients.
Yeah, but remember they used to prescribe tons of GH.
Yeah, I've heard of guys. I mean, I've purchased them from AIDS patients before. Like they get like 3 kits a month or something like that, 4 kits a month.
Yeah, and then they were selling it.
Yeah.
So they but now they're trying to use Tesamorelin. I think because they have other ways to treat the AIDS besides that.
Yeah.
I mean, back when AIDS first came out, they were giving people like massive doses of GH, Anadrol, like all kinds of anabolics and stuff to help them survive the AIDS.
Yeah.
So if they got sick and lost weight, they didn't lose too much weight.
Yeah.
So now they have other ways, but they're still using that supposedly for the visceral fat condition that I guess AIDS patients get, a buildup of visceral fat.
All right. Do we got any viewer questions? If anybody's in the chat right now.
Somebody asked something about lower back. It was way
back. They asked if you'd talk about your lower back surgery, your spine surgery. I didn't know you had.
Okay, when I was young, I was doing a bent over row with like 315 pounds
Mhm.
off of a squat rack. And when I went to bend over, someone left one of those little V handles on the ground, for the long cable row.
Yeah.
And as I was bending over, I saw through my peripheral vision that I was about to smash the V handle with the weight. So not thinking, I twisted and I blew a disc in my lower back. And there was instantly pain shot straight down the back of my leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually at CMC in prison when that happened. So I went to the medical. They took me for an MRI, and they said I had a herniated disc. And they said, "Do you want to get it fixed?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I had like crazy pain instantly down. It was straight down the back of my hamstring into my.
Sounds
calf.
like your that nerve, the
yeah, it was definitely that
sciatic nerve.
It was sciatic. So, anyways, I went for the surgery, and it was at the time they did a little tiny incision, and they used a laser, and they just zapped out the herniated part with a laser, and they stitched me back up, and within 1 week, I was back to training with no pain.
Wow.
Yeah, 1 week it was fixed. So, depending on what you got going on, I mean, they can fix some stuff. Now I'm dealing with something else. I have my SI joint nerve is compressed, and that causes my back to get inflamed. And I haven't gotten a solution for that from the doctors. They haven't been able to.
Was that like almond surgery or whatever you were telling me about?
Yeah, they wanted to put this little thing to open up my SI joint. It was like a little piece of like a material that was shaped like an almond. But then they said they didn't want to do it on me because the amount of weight I'm lifting, I wouldn't be able to do that anymore.
You destroy the almond.
Yeah, I would break the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, if I did that, then I couldn't lift anymore.
We got a viewer question. What do you guys think is the lowest efficacious dose of nandrolone is for joint and or connective tissue benefits?
Well, I'm using 30 milligrams of MPP 4 days a week, and that works pretty good. And that's the lowest I've found that actually works.
I've had guys use 100 milligrams a week if they're having, some joint pain like tendonitis or something, and it helps pretty significantly even at that dose. But they're on other stuff as well. They just added that to their existing stack.
But I'm saying that's about what I'm doing. I'm doing
you're doing 130, so pretty close.
What do I think of the Barbarian, bro? I know what he's talking about. You're talking about the guy that was on After Hours. He was a complete retard.
I didn't see it.
He was like a babbling idiot. Dave brought him on to prove his point about something, and he was a complete idiot. It was hard to sit through it. Yeah, I don't know what's like some of these people, they've lost their minds over the years.
I won't go watch it then. Holy crap, I just realized something. If somebody puts a question mark in their chat, then it gives us a question mark on the side of on the side, so you can kind of like scroll through them and find the questions more easily.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, so any other questions you guys want us to answer today?
You can answer me why internet's not working. I'm trying here in the background.
I don't know. My camera's not working. I'm on here, but for all of a sudden you can't see me.
You gotta
I didn't do anything.
It's so weird because my wife is working on the internet all the time. My computer is like zoom, 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 in and out, in and out, in and out. And I go off and on.
Where's your Wi-Fi router located at?
Dude, I was right next to it just doing that.
You're like, maybe it's your laptop. Man. It looks like it's seen better days.
Yeah, my laptop. It must be my laptop. It connects and then it's off and then it makes no sense. I'm like, forget the network, join again. It's like
maybe you need to do like an update if there's
how can I update without internet?
True.
Someone asked thoughts on Increlex.
Just in general, maybe it needs an update because I've had issues before like that. Somebody said, what was listening to your advice and not taking HGH every day? What do you think the ideal dosing schedule would be?
I take 2 units pre-workout and 2 units at night, 4 days a week. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's best, but that's just what I've been doing. And I found it works pretty good. And my reasoning behind it is the pre-workout, you get a crazy pump, and I think it helps, with drive nutrients into your system while you're training. And then at night, it's great for recovery. I mean, the nights that I take it, you sleep so well.
I think you need to take it like 2 hours pre-workout to get the most benefits from it, because you don't really start converting the IGF until it's kind of like been in your system for a little bit.
I don't know. I take it intermuscular and it hits me quick.
Okay, maybe it's intermuscular.
And I notice, like, initially when I take it, it does drop my blood sugar a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when I first take it, like I can see it on my glucose monitor thing. So yeah, I just take it intermuscular pre-workout. Now, when I take it pre-workout, I'm not like taking it and I'm working out 2 minutes later. I take it and then I go, stretch and warm up and do all this for like half an hour before I actually start training.
Yeah. Yeah. You take your time for sure.
Yeah.
I probably do. I don't know. I've been so inconsistent because I've been on the road so much lately. I haven't even brought my HGH with me, but when I'm at home, I like to do it every night because I get better sleep out of it personally. And I feel like that's kind of like a added benefit. But I think Phil wrote in my program just to do it on like my heavy training days, basically just on my training days, do kind of a higher dose on training days instead of doing it every day.
Someone asked about thoughts on Increlex. I never took Increlex that I know of. I can tell you this, though, for sure. I have had real IGF 2 times in my life. One was when I was young in the 90s, and I'm sorry, that was not IGF, that was GH. But when I was training with Nasser, I got this IGF from China, and that stuff was crazy strong. And it was so crazy strong. I was in a contest prep and I took it and it fucked me up really good.
Didn't it mess up your digestion?
Yeah. What happened was I took it and like instantly I was so hungry. I was just starving and I was eating just like contest diet food. And so I was like, for like 2 days, I was eating, and I was crazy pumped and like veins popping out and everything. And then all of a sudden, like I couldn't eat anymore. I was like so full.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to a GI doctor, and he went to put a scope down my throat to look what was going on.
I remember.
And I puked up undigested food all on him, and he was pissed. And it literally stopped my digestion. First, I was just eating like crazy, and then I couldn't eat anything. And this is just in a couple of days. But I remember when I first took it, I was so like my whole body was pumped, just like veins coming out everywhere. And then another thing happened. I got an infection like in my glute from a Winstrol shot, and that thing started bleeding internally, and it blew up like a fucking softball. And I kept draining it myself, and I was draining it, and it just kept blowing up, and I couldn't stop it. And finally I went to the doctor, and he went in there with a forceps, and he was taking out blood clots out of my ass.
Jesus.
And he said there was so much blood came out of there. He said he hasn't seen that much blood come out of a pregnant woman. My ass was blown up, like literally looked like it had a softball in it. It was just filling up with blood. So there's some nasty side effects from from it.
Let's that's disgusting, Larry. Let's move over real quick before we hop off. I just opened up some comments on my Instagram and I saw there's like a story breaking kind of right now where Kai Green is pissed off at Justin Compton. What page was that on? It was on
I saw that earlier.
It was on Mike. It's from Mike podcast with Justin.
Yeah, no, it's on. Yeah, that's where I saw it. But like, what was the some page just put that
beyond the stage?
Yeah, that's what it is. Let me see what Kai's response was.
Oh, I heard Kai's response.
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
It was he was not happy. he sounded pretty harsh talking about Justin, saying that basically if you were not, in so many words, he said, if you're not a judge or one of the powers that be that were involved in it, then you don't know what you're talking about. So you should shut your mouth. That's what he said.
Well, I mean, that's what podcasts are all about, is talking about situations and why you think something happened or didn't or whatever.
Well, Kai apparently got very offended with this because normally he talks in his rhyme, stuff. This time he was like, you should just shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to put the thing up so we can hear it? I haven't heard it yet. Or do you want to?
If you can find it.
Yeah, I got it right here. It's on Beyond the Stage.
Just put present.
Okay, hold on. It's on my phone. I got to pull it up on the interweb.
It's on Beyond the Stage?
Yeah, Beyond the Stage.
Let me see.
How's it right now?
Beyond Stage.
All right, I think I'm going to have it.
Beyond the Stage TV?
Yeah. It's the second row down. Kai, it says Kai responds.
Yes, it's right here. Let me put this on here.
Now we can talk about this week and have breaking news instead of talking about it next week as a recap. And it's all Leo's fault. That was a good interview with Compton, though. I enjoyed that one.
Thank you. It's always easy with him. He talks
You
so
guys
much.
seeing that?
Yeah. We can't hear it though.
I'm gonna turn on.
I checked.
So I'm on the internet right now, but I have no
as many
idea
accomplishments to your credit yet.
Oh.
So if you are still working and you believe that it's within your capability to do something of greatness, take that energy that it would take to do that, shut up, and get the work done.
Hold on, I didn't hear the beginning. I gotta let it run it back.
I'll replay.
There's something about being intelligent enough to be diplomatic. You know what I mean? Because then that way you don't have to backpedal later on and apologize with empty nonsense for stupid shit that you could have just kept in your own mouth, kept it to yourself. You didn't win an Olympiad. Last time I checked, there's not as many accomplishments to your credit yet. So if you are still working and you believe that it's within your capability to do something of greatness, take that energy that it would take to do that, shut up, and get the work done.
All right.
There's something about being intelligent enough to be
Yeah, we got it.
They got it. All right. It just sounds like he's clapping back because he probably knows that Justin's retired. So, and Justin was a very accomplished bodybuilder also. He just gave his opinion on why he thought that Kai didn't win. I think Kai just didn't have the structure to beat Phil Heath. Doesn't matter what he did on the internet. I don't think he had the structure to beat Phil.
Yeah, but he said why he could never have won.
Yeah, I get that why he
even if Phil,
I think he couldn't have won because Phil was better.
No. You don't understand. He said why Kai would never have won anyways.
I get
If
it.
Phil came in like a bag of trash,
Yeah.
Kai would not have won. They would have put the third one in first. That's what he said.
Personally, I don't agree with that. I think Kai got the placing that he deserved. I think that he was extremely good. I think that
No one said he didn't get the place he deserved.
no, but I don't think
Yeah.
that he would have gotten. I don't think that he wouldn't have got won. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't agree.
Okay.
With,
Yeah.
I don't think that he wouldn't have won. I think that he won many shows. That's just because he didn't win the Olympia. He won,
Yeah.
I think, Arnold's, and that had no effect on his Arnold Classics and anything like that. And if that was a thing, then I think it would have affected those other placings as well. But I think that that's just Justin's opinion. I mean, it's fine. He can have his own opinion, and I mean, maybe Kai might not like him for it, but that's just the sport, I guess.
No, he didn't like him because he said he would never have won because of his past. And that was not diplomatic to pull that up from him, because he kind of pointed to what Kai had done in the past, which is not like he doesn't want to be remembered about it. And Justin basically gave indirectly an instruction on how to find out.
Well, I mean, everyone within the industry knows how to find out, but
I never
think
found it when I Googled Kai.
I never looked. I didn't want to see that video. I think that the IFBB definitely does do that in some degrees, because look at Sean. They banned him from going to the Olympia, and he was just like under like fighting a case. He wasn't even like convicted. So they do definitely worry about their image to some degree. So maybe Justin is right on that in some way, but I personally don't think that it affected his career with the judges.
Look, Kai won all kinds of shows. He just didn't beat Phil Heath.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at all of those Olympias. And the bottom line was Phil Heath was just better than him.
Yeah.
He had bigger shoulders, bigger arms, and he just had a better structure.
Yeah, but we're just saying that it was Justin's opinion that he thought that he wouldn't win the number one title because of his past. But
I disagree. I think if Phil Heath wasn't there, he would have been Mr. Olympia.
I agree. I agree with you. I think that. But I mean, we're just commentating on Justin's opinion.
Yeah.
We're not.
I don't think they cared that much. I think that if it wasn't for Phil Heath, he would have won an Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
But he could.
I tend to agree with that, because he was extremely good, but he just wasn't better than Phil.
Yeah, he just couldn't beat Phil.
So
and Dave Palumbo loves Kai Green for God knows why.
Well, he's a great athlete, but
I know, but I mean, he's like infatuated with him. And he asked Chris Aceto if he thought that Kai should have beat him a couple of times, and Chris Aceto said no.
Mm-hmm.
And I say no. Like, Phil just was better.
Yeah,
when you put them side by side, Phil just beat him every single time.
He just had a little better structure. Anyway, that's the breaking news, guys. I think we're about ready to wrap it.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week, Larry's video will be working the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I tried to fix it a bunch of times, and it's just not.
That's all right. You probably got to reset your computer or something. Try to do an update like Leo needs to do.
Yeah. Shit.
All right.
I'm gonna now Google or ask Rock and then tell him what's going on, like how to fix it. I mean, what the heck, dude? It's just like these 3 things go up and down and up and down, and then it's full, and I have internet for like 2 minutes, and then it goes up and down and up and down, and it's like, oh, then it goes off. It's like,
all right.
What?
Before we go, somebody wants to know what's your favorite Austrian meal. Is it just like bratwurst and sauerkraut?
Bratwurst is not Austrian.
It's not?
So no. So
is it German?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say maybe like my dessert is Kaiserschmarrn, and my favorite meal is probably these Austrian dumplings, Knödel. with either goulash or how do you call that? Like kind of pork out of the oven. I don't know how you call it. Roast, not roast.
Roasted baked pork.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like a pork steak.
Mm.
And then some sauerkraut with it.
There you go. I love sauerkraut.
Somebody asked if I subscribe to Heavy Duty College, thoughts on training methods for naturals. I lived with Mike Menser. I trained with Mike Menser. I don't need to hear somebody else's reiteration of how Mike Menser trained. So no, I don't need to hear that from someone else. I did that personally, and I've talked about it multiple times.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's wrap this one up.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have questions for next week, send it to us on our Instagrams. And that's a wrap.
All right.
All righty. Bye-bye.
I believe that the fires we're cast upon are the flames we shall become. I believe in a common cause.